we look at the impact of US tariffs and de dollarization among BRIC borrower nations. Dollar issuance by BRIC borrowers has significantly dwindled due to the valuation of the dollar, making the debt in totality considerably more expensive. BRIC borrowers are tilting away from dollar denominated issuance to a different currency basket alternative to the dollar. On a personal note, I believed dollar denominated issuance and the fact it was highly expensive at a certain point for BRIC borrowers was caused directly by monetary policy by the Federal Reserve. So I believed it was an issue that needed to be incorporated by the Federal Reserve. What in fact happened is that BRIC borrowers at issuance at a state level pivoted away from the dollar specifically. There are no excluding factors that indicate that the dollar is uh, the only one, the only one single factor driving up total costs for debt issuance in BRIC nations. 70% of debt on average carried by BRIC nations is dollar denominated. There are two ways uh, that you can hedge against the value of a currency, in this specific case, the dollar, and the instrument, which is government debt. First, you have a hedge in the currency space. Second, you have a hedge that relates specifically to the instrument, which is dollar denominated US government. To be specific, BRICS debt. So we're going to look at the oil market. There's a special issue in play. The oil market, obviously, you implement tariffs on oil. You're going to push up in the price of oil as an importer. There's a special issue at play, according to Morgan Stanley. The tariffs also suppress demand out of the real economy. So you have the direct implications for, open market prices for crude, but you also have implications for demand out of the real economy. In totality, I'm going to be very clear. Demand out of the real economy is including gas at gas stations for, you know, car drivers, and it is also demand for crude as a feedstock, for example, in the plastics industry. So it is in generalized terms. So what that indicates is, in this specific case, when the demand out of the real economy dwindles, that means when OPEC doesn't respond with output, manipulation, the demand is set to dwindle. That means uh, you have the one effect, tariffs pushing up prices in a very direct way, and then you have the demand dwindling, pushing down prices. The issue is with OPEC. OPEC doesn't always have a very, direct incentive for clear policy adjustment. They sometimes do things that are counterintuitive. They do it over a certain period of time. Even a specific example is when the prices are falling, they cannot secure their income. Prices are falling, they will not implement an output cut. There have been cases that they implement an output increase, leading to a greater glut. which can lead to oil prices bottoming out. So the looming issue at play is the political issue and the war in Ukraine. What we have now is multilateral talks with Ukraine, Russia, and key allies and partners in Europe and America and around the world. So Morgan Stanley indicates the most accurate assessment that reduces risk to an absolute minimum is Russian output coming online to the market over just above the short-term outlook. Morgan Stanley estimates not more than 2 to 3 years. So pure matter of incorporating the glut that is to come from Russian markets in the supply of oil and an alternative issue, also gas to the global market. The first response would be very large, very large, since Russia is a large supplier, a very large increase of the supply in the global market, which will lead eventually, almost immediately, to a sharp decrease in prices over the global spot market.